Ow, D, O, feel. Boom, 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 boom. Ow, D, O, feel. Ow, D, O, feel. Ow, D, O, feel, feel, feel.
Would you tell me a secret? Which of the songs have been recorded in flip-flops and with a towel?
Oh, I think maybe eight, 8 or 9. I don't know. I have to remember. I mean, last summer, I think at least I Can Break Your Heart, Don't Cry, Don't Think About It, and yeah, maybe even Lifesaver was recorded, like, partly. At least one of the band members was wearing flip-flops or a towel that time. But everybody was wearing something anyway.
Okay, but it's like the Bangles with the Eternal Flame. She has been completely naked in the studio.
Yeah, but we can't do that. We can't be naked.
Okay.
Because it's like, even there's no cameras, I think the microphones would shut. We don't look too beautiful without.
Okay, so everything would be interrupted.
Yeah.
I see. Do you think it makes a difference? Can we hear that there has been this completely freedom?
I think so. I mean, what we really did this time is we gave the magic moments a bigger chance. We tried a lot of things. Some songs we did like 4 or 5 versions, and again and again and again and again. And we really didn't focus on the everything being on the nicht so genau. So everything is not that perfect, and everything is not that perfectly in time. So we gave the feeling and the moment a bigger role on this album. So definitely, I mean, if you have to work with leather jackets and with the hair done and everything, you can't be as relaxed as if you're with towel and flip-flops. So it's a good thing, and I think for me it sounds in the album too.
But that's not the new look for stage.
We never know. I mean, we have to try how it feels to perform with the towel only, but maybe we won't try it with this album anyways.
Okay, but I think the female fans will be...
They would be ex-female fans if they would see us without clothes.
And I don't think so. But this time the album, or you have spent a lot of time for the album, or for the preparation, for songwriting, 18 months or something like this?
I think it was even 2 years or something, but I think that's really good because, some bands, they like to do touring for, 6-8 months, then they go to studio for 4-6 months or whatever. But we always go like, pick 2 or 3 songs, then we spend a week with those and like just, smell the air a little bit and feel how we feel about it. And then make more songs like, after having a break for 2 months. Then we go on tour, then we come back to the studio. So actually we were not in the studio for the whole 2 years, of course not. But I don't know, I think it fits us and suits us because it's still, if you do them like too fast, I think you could start repeating the ideas and stuff, and time is a really good thing for songs and for music and for people as well. People get better too with a little bit more age and more experience. So.
And is it because you now have this stardom or this fame that you have the opportunity to have this longer period for recording?
But we always did it. It's always been like, even the first album took like 1.5 years. And I don't know, actually all the albums have been like longer processes. So it's nothing new for us. And it's really good because then you can hear the songs and like, take 2 weeks, distance, a break from the music, and then come back to it and then see, okay, how do we really feel about it? I think it's really good.
So you do all the songwriting and the text, everything by your own?
No. I mean, there's a lot of people like me and the band and even the producers, of course. I mean, if somebody's producing your album, there's always ideas and even composing and lyrical wise, producing the thing better. And we got a few friends, also outsiders like friends, songwriters, whatever, who bring in ideas into the, to make the big cake together.
But you haven't changed your producers. You're working with them since the first album, right?
Yeah, there's a new guy who came in on the last album. There's 2 guys and their name is Jukka,
yes.
Both of them. But it's cool. I mean, there could be some other guy, somewhere in LA or London or whatever, but we feel really comfortable with these dudes, and you know, it's a good thing we all come from Finland, so we maybe understand the Finnish melancholy and, you know, the soul, how the soul works with a Finnish person well, and feels
the language.
good. And the language, yeah, it's like, I mean, everything works also really well in English in studios, of course, but especially since we sing in English. But yeah, works good.
And this time I had the impression it's like a trip around the world. You have some blues, you have some southern rock, you also have some Celtic tunes. Lifesaver for me is a little bit Celtic.
Thank you.
So is this from traveling or from your tours? All the impressions you have collected?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, there's so many beautiful vibes and smells and tones and colors in music all over the world, and still we are not doing the, you know, Japanese style or Indian stuff too much. But I don't know. Maybe the traveling, and also that you know, when you play a lot of stuff, you need to find something new for yourself, and for us band guys, we need to find some new flavor for us as well. So the whole package is interesting, you know, for us, because then we can be excited about it. I think it's still pretty obvious Sunrise Avenue package, but for me there's definitely some new peppers and new coriander and new salt in the package, and it feels really good, fresh and new, but still safe.
Have you toured Africa before? So maybe for the next album we can expect some drums, or...
We will send our drummer there for exchange to internship for 2 months. No, we haven't, but it would be really cool.
And where would you say do you have your hugest fan base? Is it here in Germany or in Finland?
Well, it's really hard to say. I mean, there are some countries that are stronger Sunrise Avenue countries. Like Finland, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, like Czech, Slovakia. It's hard to say, but I don't know. It's always nice to go to. I mean, Germany is so big, for example. It's like, I don't know, 20 times bigger than Finland with the population. So there's more crowd here. But but Germany is definitely one of the, you know, the most important places, and Germany is still the place where it all started for us back in 2006. So, you know, we were signed to a German label in Cologne, and the very first, like, sweet, super people who started supporting us were from Germany, you know, outside Finland, of course. And I don't think we would be sitting here with you without these German fans in the beginning and on the way, of course.
Do you think the German people maybe understand this Finnish melancholy, or?
Could be. I mean, could be that the, you know, the souls in this country are similar to the souls in my country back home. But I think Germany and Finland are actually really, really similar. Like, there's, like, you know, Lutheran background, and, you know, hardworking people who pay their taxes, and we are humble. We like to go to the sports events, and, you know, it's pretty safe and clean everywhere, and I don't know, you know, green ecological things and stuff. And it feels very, very like, you know, Helsinki sitting here on top of Berlin.
But you should have a huge success in Russia. They love the melancholy and minor tunes, and
yeah, Russia is cool. It's like it's as touring place, it's always a little bit more extreme. I mean, only the distances are really, really long. I mean, you can play in Berlin and then you can drive 2 hours to Hamburg, but if you play in St. Petersburg, you have to fly 2 hours to Moscow, and then you have to fly 2 hours to Yekaterinburg, or 3 hours to Krasnodar to the south. But it's really cool. I mean, the live crowds are really, really crazy in the East. Even the guys do stage diving at the shows, and this you don't see in Western Europe that often anymore, but it's cool here.
They have more vodka.
They have more vodka, yeah. The only problem in Russia when we tour there is sometimes the party goes a bit too wild, but we have survived back home, everyone, so far.
Okay, so you have 2 days after a concert and not only one.
Sometimes you would need 3, but yeah.
See.
But it's, you know, rock and roll.
But why do you think there's so many bands from Finland, and especially in rock?
I don't know. I mean, We have a pretty good music education system in Finland. Like the education thing in general, I think it's one of the best in the world. But also, I mean, if you're a German band, for example, and you want to have a career, you can still sing in German, and you can, have big tours and look at the Boss guys doing really well, or Max Herre, or anybody. But in Finland, if you really want to make a living, it's tougher to do it inside Finland. We are only 5 million people, and there's like 5 big cities only. So I think that's one reason, and another reason is that the English language is more in our lives since we are really young. Because in Finland, when you watch James Bond on TV, James speaks English and not German, like in Germany.
Subtitles, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Or not Spanish, like in Spain, and so on. So maybe we are more influenced by the English language, and we are used to English music and more international boogie in general. But I think there's great bands and great music in the local markets here as well, and they could do it easily internationally if they wanted to.
And did you ever think about singing in Finnish?
I tried in the very early days, but it feels really, I don't know, because all the the big bands and artists that we look up to, most of them are like from the UK or from the States, like everything from Beatles to Bon Jovi and Madonna. It's really, I don't know, in Finnish it sounds really weird, but there's really great artists and bands in Finland singing in Finnish language. But I don't know, I think we could really never do it.
Is it difficult, the language, for melodic reasons, or?
Not melodic, I mean, that's easy. It's like a song is a song, but the lyrics, that's really tough. And if you say in English in a song, I love you, in Finnish you would say, minä rakastan sinua. It's pretty hard to put that in a song, and I don't know, at least I could never do that.
Okay, I see. But I couldn't find anything about your youth or your musical education.
I was never young, that's the...
I see. But did you have a musical education, or?
No, I'm a guy from the streets. I mean, I took guitar lessons like, I don't know, maximum 10, 15 times. But that was mostly because my mom told me that if I buy you the guitar, you take the lessons. But that was not where I learned the whole rest of our band, they are actually pretty highly educated, and they are like professional musicians also. But I've been only, playing by the campfire and playing on the streets and playing by myself and, making music. That's the way I learned my thing.
But can you read notes, or?
No, not. I mean, I can, yeah, but it takes an hour to. I can't do a prima vista when you give me notes and start playing. It doesn't work.
Okay, so you could, if I would write you down some notes, you couldn't sing it.
No.
But when you are composing, or how do you do it? Are you writing, or are you painting, or are you really writing down notes?
No, I don't write. We don't need notes these days. I mean, the Beatles guys didn't know the notes and in the beginning, and they did pretty all right for a couple of years.
They say so.
Yeah, they say so. But I mean, it's not the theory that helps you deliver something. I mean, if you have like eggs and flour and sugar and stuff, you can still bake a cake without the instructions if you know how to do it. And
but you have to know how to do it, so...
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it 100 times, and then you know what you like. And it's the same. I mean, take a guitar and see what comes out, and it's nothing bad if you know how to read notes or if you have the education, but I never felt like I need it. I'm just... it's more personal if it's just something that I do a little bit wrong, maybe, even. So it's very good that the flight captain is educated, and the brain surgeon, the guy who's cutting your brain, he should be educated. Maybe a psychologist should be educated, but I think a painter or a musician or a dancer don't have to be educated if you can express yourself and if the whole thing works.
But maybe some technique helps. Don't you
doesn't
think so?
really.
Okay.
I mean, it gives you maybe ways of doing the things you would do anyway, but I don't know. I mean, I do my thing, and it's like, I don't know, did somebody teach Picasso how to paint right, to paint correctly? I mean, maybe somebody showed him, hold the pencil like this and don't mix the blue and yellow, but I mean, you figure out your thing It's very good if you want to be a musician, like a professional musician who can play anywhere. Then it's really important to know the theories, to know the different whatevers. But if you want to tell stories to people, you're telling stories, you know?
But when
I mean, it doesn't hurt you if you have the degree on music, but you definitely don't need it.
sometimes maybe it hinders, you know what I mean? So yes, you're not so free to improvise or to express yourself when you're strictly educated.
But I mean, it doesn't harm you, and there's different kinds of people. Like, you know, I think Dave Grohl can read notes and he's still doing all right, and I don't, and I'm doing all right. And you know, Paul McCartney didn't, and he's doing all right. It's like, I think sometimes people take, you know, music and art too seriously. Even in the music business, it happens the same thing. Today, 2013, on the 9th of October, you have to be like this to succeed, to survive. That's all bullshit, you know. It either goes into the people's hearts or it doesn't. And it doesn't matter if you have 3 strings on your guitar and you're only wearing a towel. If it works, it works. You don't actually need instructions for it.
Or 1 key on your keyboard like David Guetta.
Could be, absolutely, yeah. Or 1 actually spacebar on your MacBook, like David gets. But that's good. Hey, it's art and it touches people and it works.
And why do you want to touch people?
I'm a touchy guy. I don't want to touch. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I make music. Why we make music? It's somebody told me once that it's something very important to make songs and to sing them to get feelings out of your system. And you know, some people go jogging or start bodybuilding or they go to the sex slave studios to get the pressure out of their, you know, from their soul. And it seems to me that for many musicians, it's the way to, you know, get the pain and the enjoyment and everything out of your system, and it's good. I mean, it's really nice when you can do it with a group that you play together. It's like ice hockey is pretty boring alone, but it's fun with a team. And it's even greater when you have a crowd there and you're enjoying this special moment together. But I mean, I can tell you that there's way easier jobs than playing in a band. And there's, you know, better ways if you just would do it for the money, and there's better ways of becoming famous these days. It's a really tough job, but we seem to love it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it.
But have you had other jobs before?
Oh, yes. I've had every job there is, apart from the pilot and the brain surgeon. But yeah, I did everything.
And from a sex slave?
I had a sex shop in Spain, actually.
Really?
I mean, we were establishing it, and I had like 200 dildos back in, but it went wrong. But yeah, but never worked in a sex studio.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, but I don't think that's my thing. Or if I do it, I will definitely have a degree for that, so I do it right.
I see. And you mentioned you would like to tell stories. Which sort of stories do you like to tell?
I think the best story, a good story, is a story that you can make your own. I mean, if the, you know, song is called "The Best of You," I mean, yeah, they're singing something like specific in the song, but I mean, for me, it's something, you know, from my life. Or if there's a song called "Lifesaver," for example, for me, the lifesavers are the band guys, my mom, the friends, and you know, the important people. And for you, your lifesaver in your life has been something else, somebody else. So I think the best stories and the best, you know, song stories are the ones that you can take for yourself, that you make your own story with it.
But you must be a really sad man.
I must be a
sad man.
I'm a very sad man.
Yes. Because you're singing so much about heartache and pain and...
But it would be so hard to sing about, you know, like, yeah, the sun is shining and I'm cleaning the garden. It's like, you know, deep feelings like loneliness, being scared, you know, melancholy, these are deep feelings, and it's easier to sing about deep stuff than, you know, singing about everyday daily business. I mean, we also have songs about, you know, we're on the unholy ground and partying, and we, you know, sing about I can break your heart, stuff like that. But I think, you know, the deepest songs are the songs that, you know, tear your heart out.
And do you think I can hear some Finnish influence in your music?
Absolutely.
which is the Finnish part of your music?
Well, I mean, we lived in Finland pretty much most of our lives anyways, and if you hear all the Finnish, I know the word Schlager in Germany is a bit cheesy, but in Finland we have a really big like folks music, like traditional music scene, and of course
here in Germany we do also have some folk music.
yeah, I mean you do
nice, which
great
is not
stuff.
Schlager.
No, I know, but I mean we call it Schlager in Finland, and the word is wrong. But I mean, yeah, I mean if you hear it all your life, I'm sure it goes into the melodies and stuff. But our music is a mixture of what we experienced and stuff, and there's not one thing that is Finnish. Maybe the kind of little melancholy thing comes from the north.
Or the space, maybe the space. A spacey music because of the space in Finland?
Could be. I mean, you should check out the sky in the night in the winter. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
You feel very small with all the the Nordic lights and stuff and stars and very cold. So
Yeah.
you feel happy that you survived another night.
But do you also have some German parts?
I don't know. I mean, of course. Actually, there's really like, yeah. I mean, has to be. I mean, it's like not that we're only like from Finland, UK, and America where the influences come from. Of course, it comes from everywhere. And I have my roots here as well. And the music my dad listened to when I was young, that was really bad. That was like the Musikantenstadel, like the, like this, Pierstube kind of things, but sorry, Dad. But hey, of course, they all get into your DNA, and then you start repeating your new formula to the people.
So is it an honor for you being part of the Voice of Germany now?
Well, absolutely, a huge honor, of course.
But don't you think you could have a bad conscience if you don't vote for a singer and he will win?
Oh, if I didn't press for the...
Yes.
No, I'm there, like, the reason I'm there, it's like a trip and an experience for me. And of course, if I can help, some youngster or a new talent to take 2 more steps towards, being a pro and getting a career, that would be amazing. But, I don't really mind who wins the whole thing. The biggest thing is to make new friends with the coaches and with the talents and everybody. And, whoever wins, they deserve it. And then we hope for the best, that they make it big.
So you have a lot of experience with not being accepted at labels.
It's a good thing, being rejected makes you stronger, and yeah, it's good. And I think the voice of thing and the casting show world is a bit of a different ball game in a way, but it's still very tough. There's 7,000 people took part in the pre-selections and one can win, so it's gonna be a huge Davis Cup to get to the top. But yeah, but it's good to be rejected. It happened to me with girls, with jobs, with record companies, with everything. So I've learned to take it well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Die. Oh.